What you see isn't real, at least not the way you think. Walk into a warm house from winter cold, and you'll swear it's tropical. The same temperature that felt freezing an hour later feels perfect. Same room, different you. Climb a mountain, then return to your neighborhood hill. What once seemed impossible now feels like a gentle rise. See $1,000 bill when you're broke, and it's a fortune. See it next to 100,000, and it's pocket change. You don't feel reality. You feel your reference. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the Atlantean practice that lets you tilt the lens on command and walk out of whatever struggle has been following you home. Step closer. I want to show you something. Two initiates enter the Hall of Mirrors on the same day. Both carry the same burden: exile from their homeland, loss of family, uncertainty about their path. Both receive the same trial. Hold these orbs and tell me what you see. The first sees weight. Master, these orbs grow heavier by the moment. I cannot carry what I've lost and what lies ahead. I am not strong enough. The second sees training. Master, I feel my strength growing. Each moment I hold these, I become who I need to be. My past prepared me. My uncertainty sharpens me. Same orbs, same room, same moment in time. Different lens, different destiny. The masters carve this above the doorway. The frame you choose becomes the path you walk. This is what they mean when they say what you see isn't real. The Law of Relativity, not Einstein's physics, but something far older, speaks to this truth. No thing has meaning until it's compared. Your mind is constantly choosing a baseline. The last conversation you had, the expectation you carried in, the story your culture told you about what success looks like, what love means, what constitutes failure. Watch the tide. The same stone step can be underwater or high and dry. The step hasn't changed. The reference, the water level, determines what you see. Your feelings work exactly the same way. You don't feel the thing itself. You feel how it compares to the baseline you've unconsciously chosen. Disappointed? You're comparing reality to an unexamined expectation. Grateful? You're measuring now against worse that could be. Frustrated? Your anchor is set to someone else's highlight reel. You don't feel reality. You feel your reference. Here's what the initiates discovered. You can choose your reference point as consciously as you choose your clothes. Same room, new lens, different you. But here's the trap most of us fall into. We anchor low without realizing it. Social media trains you to compare your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Your baseline becomes everyone's doing better than me. News algorithms feed you crisis after crisis until your anchor becomes the world is falling apart. Your nervous system learns to expect catastrophe. Normal becomes threatening. Past shame becomes your comparison point. You measure today's self against yesterday's worst moment. That mistake from 3 years ago somehow becomes the baseline for what you deserve now. Worst case rehearsal becomes your planning method. You imagine everything that could go wrong and mistake that mental movie for preparation. Your reference point becomes fear. When you anchor to scarcity, criticism, and catastrophe, your entire emotional landscape tilts toward darkness. Same life, broken baseline. If your baseline is broken, your life will be too. The masters knew this. That's why they developed a practice. Walk with me to the center of the temple. The practice they called ORBS, 4 movements that recalibrate your reference in real time. O. Observe the frame. First, catch yourself in the act. Name the comparison you're making out loud. I'm measuring my progress against Sarah's Instagram. I'm comparing this difficult conversation to the perfect one in my head. I'm anchoring to the worst thing that happened last month. Try it now. What frame are you unconsciously using for your biggest current struggle? Say it aloud. I'm comparing my blank to blank. R. Re-anchor higher. Choose a wiser reference point. Instead of comparing to someone else's highlight reel, anchor to your own growth. Where was I 6 months ago? Instead of measuring against perfection, measure against purpose. Is this serving who I'm becoming? Higher anchors include your deeper principles, your longer timeline, the person you're committed to becoming, the contribution you're here to make. What would the version of me I'm growing into think about this situation? B. Bridge the feeling. This is where most people skip steps and wonder why nothing changes. You can't just think your way to a new frame. You have to let the new perspective land in your body. Ask a bridging question. What else could this mean that serves me? Then breathe. Let the charge soften. Feel the shift in your chest, your shoulders, your breathing. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 6. Feel your nervous system registering the new reference point. S. Step in alignment. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Take one small step that fits the higher frame. Send the text. Make the call. Write 3 sentences. Take the walk. Ask the question. Set the boundary. The step doesn't have to be big. It has to be aligned. One action that matches the higher perspective proves to your nervous system that the new frame is real. ORBS. Observe. Re-anchor. Bridge. Step. You change the frame. The frame changes everything. Let me show you how this works in the territories where you actually live. Sarah opens her banking app and feels that familiar punch to the stomach. Her savings account shows $2,847. Her reference? Her college friend just bought a house. Observe the frame. I'm comparing my financial position to someone who's been in their career 2 years longer and inherited a down payment. Re-anchor higher. 6 months ago, I had $1,200 and was living paycheck to paycheck. I've more than doubled my savings while building skills in a new field. Bridge the feeling. She closes her eyes, breathes, asks, what else could this mean that serves me? The answer, I'm building the foundation. Every dollar saved is a vote for my future freedom. Step in alignment. Instead of doom-scrolling real estate she can't afford, she opens her investment app and sets up an automatic transfer, $200 monthly, into index funds. Small step, new trajectory. Same bank account, different lens, new momentum. Marcus hasn't heard from his partner in 6 hours. His text sits on delivered, but not read. His reference? The last relationship, where silence meant someone was pulling away. Observe the frame. I'm comparing this silence to my ex, who went quiet before breaking up with me. Re-anchor higher. This is a different person in a different relationship. Silence could mean focus, overwhelm, family crisis, or just a dead phone battery. Bridge the feeling. He sets down the phone, breathes, asks, how would someone who trusts love respond to this? The answer? With curiosity instead of catastrophe. Step in alignment. Instead of sending another follow-up text, he writes in his journal about something he appreciates about the relationship. When his partner texts an hour later, "Sorry, crazy day at work," he responds with warmth instead of wounded questioning. Same silence, different frame, stronger bond. David looks at his workout plan. He was supposed to exercise 5 days this week. It's Friday, and he's managed 2. His reference? The perfect plan he imagined on Sunday night. Observe the frame. I'm comparing my reality to my fantasy of who I thought I'd be this week. Re-anchor higher. 3 months ago, I exercised 0 days per week. 2 is infinitely better than 0. I'm not behind. I'm building. Bridge the feeling. He stops looking at the missed days, breathes, asks, what would my future healthy self think about this week? The answer, every workout is a win. Progress isn't perfection. Step in alignment. Instead of declaring the week a failure, he puts on his shoes and takes a 10-minute walk. Not the hour-long gym session he planned, but movement that fits the frame of building a healthy life one step at a time. Same week, different lens, sustainable momentum. Notice the pattern. Same facts, same situations. The reference point shifted everything. The feeling, the choice, the outcome. Walk with me. See how the hallway widens when you shift your step. Close your eyes. We're going to practice together. Breathe with me. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. Picture the 2 orbs floating in front of you. In your left hand, place your current struggle. Feel its weight. The frustration, the confusion, the sense that something's not working. Now lift your chin. Look higher. In your right hand, choose your higher anchor. Not perfection, perspective. The timeline of your growth. The person you're becoming. The contribution you're here to make. Breathe into both hands. Feel the different energies. Now slowly bring your hands together. Watch the orbs merge. See your situation relit by this higher perspective. What shifts? What new possibility emerges? What would someone anchored in this higher frame do next? Open your eyes. Name one action you'll take in the next 10 minutes that fits this new perspective. Say it out loud. Before you leave this temple, understand the boundaries. The law of relativity isn't denial. You don't gaslight yourself into thinking abuse is love or financial crisis is abundance. Facts remain facts. What shifts is the meaning you make, the identity you choose, the action you take. This isn't toxic positivity. You still honor your grief. You still keep your promises. You still make amends when you've caused harm. You still set boundaries when they're needed. The frame shifts your response to reality, not your perception of reality itself. Know when not to reframe. If you're in physical danger, act first. If you're experiencing abuse, seek safety first. If you have urgent medical symptoms, get care first. Perspective is powerful, precisely because you use it wisely, not universally. The masters taught, anchor high, but keep your feet on the ground. Wisdom knows when to shift the lens and when to change the situation. Notice how this law weaves with everything you've learned. Correspondence. As above, so below. Your inner frame writes the pattern in your outer world. Choose the reference of abundance, and you'll notice opportunities that were always there. Anchor in scarcity, and you'll filter out possibilities. Cause and effect. The frame you pick becomes the cause. Every anchor point you choose sets events in motion. Reference points aren't neutral. They're creative forces. Compensation. Life pays you at the level of your chosen reference. Anchor low. Receive experiences that match. Anchor to your highest vision, and reality rises to meet you. Each law amplifies the others. Each perspective you choose ripples through every other principle. But there's something else waiting in the shadows. A law that explains why opposites exist in the first place, and how to cross the bridge between them. In the next chapter, I'll show you why opposites are the same road, walked in different directions. The law of polarity awaits. We return to where we began, the Hall of Mirrors, the choice between two orbs. But now you see what the masters always knew. The orbs were never different. The weight was never in the object. The power was always in the perspective. You choose which lens to look through. You choose which reference to anchor to. You choose which version of yourself to become. Before you leave this place, speak these words with me. Let them echo in the corridors of your mind. I remember who I am, and I choose the higher perspective. Say it again. Let it land. I remember who I am, and I choose the higher perspective. If this shifted something for you, honor that shift. Like this video, so the algorithm knows this wisdom serves people. Share it with one person who needs a lens shift. You know who they are. And in the comments, write the mantra. I remember who I am, and I choose the higher perspective. The next time you feel stuck, remember, you're not trapped by your circumstances. You're trapped by your reference point. Change the frame. Change everything.